Go!
All your plans of events and that kind of thing. So I was very excited for you.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, because I did that one event and it was really good. Yeah, really good. I was really
Yeah.
happy with how it turned out. And
Really?
We need to get you more on stage, Ian. Get you out of that shell.
yeah, cool. I got some I was looking at today I think it was Jason, I don't know if it was last week, you challenged me a little bit to look into doing some more events in the future. Well, by the end of this year. So I have been looking at some venues and stuff where I can maybe host another little one, like the last one I did. I mean, if I know it wouldn't happen, but if every time that I did an event, I got the same results, same conversion as I did with the last one.
Hey,
I don't know.
Adam, did Ian tell you about that event that he did?
Tell me he was doing it, and then you text me after because I said, "Let me know how you get on," and you text me afterwards saying it went well, but that was like the day after. So I don't know what was the outcome of what was the actual result, I suppose.
Yeah, tell him your numbers. It's awesome, Adam.
Yeah, it's really cool looking at the conversion of it all. So here we are. So I had a 77% assistance rate. How many people turned up? I have it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people turned up to the event. Cool. We're just happy with my first event. You know, it was more than I was expecting. That was really cool. So out of 7, currently I have 3 that have already joined.
Okay. Are they were all 7 experienced real estate agents?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. At least 1 year experience.
Okay.
Anyway, because that's the requirement in EXP Spain. Anyway, you need to have a minimum a year experience. So, looking at some of the names, I know that one of them is also going to join in September. So if I get 4 out of that one event, that's over 50% conversion rate, which is insane. So that's what I'm.
That is good. Yeah, I think it's really good. So from a selfish, obviously I wear 2 hats to a degree. I've got my EXP corporate hat on. I've got my RevShare hat on because I earn RevShare as I'm in the RevShare, setup as well. And I remember Glenn and Jason guessing 6 years ago, really encouraging me to embrace the revenue share. Whereas I know the previous management after Jason and Glenn, but prior to Felix, was kind of you shouldn't earn revenue share. You shouldn't go after revenue share. You're a country leader. You shouldn't be doing it. Blah blah blah. But I'd always been told, I'd always been discouraged, put it that way, by the previous guys to me and Felix. And when Felix sort of stepped in and asked me to look after Europe, I said we've got to encourage RevShare for the country leaders. Like, as part of the benefit of joining, that's how we're going to get the best people to lead a country, and we need to give them that as a benefit. Anyway, so I'm going off on a different tangent here, but so I've got an agent who joined in Bristol on like day 0 of EXP UK, and he moved to Dubai. And he kind of said to me, "Adam, will you help me with RevShare?" And I said, "Show me like what you're going to do." So he's been doing a podcast, funny enough. So he's done a podcast. Dave Allen, his name is. Done a podcast. Been working really hard. Like, picked up probably 3 or 4 agents. Right? I'm not putting pressure on Jason here. So Jason Justak, I'm not trying to. But I said to Dave, all right, I'll come to Dubai. So he moved to Dubai. I should have said that. He moved to Dubai when EXP Dubai opened. And he said, help me with RevShare. And I said, look, I can't justify coming to Dubai. It's difficult. Anyway, so he put the work in. And then obviously I had the role of Europe. I went over there June last year before my role change. And he got like 11 people in the room. It wasn't many. But there was one key guy that had signed up called Michael McGee, who you maybe met in Barcelona. The Irish guy. Mm-hmm. He signed that guy. He signed up because I went over there. And again, Jason, I'm genuinely not trying to put any pressure on you, but then I said to Michael, why don't we do another event? And my point here really is to try and persuade you to do more events, because we had 11 or 12 people in the room that first one. Second one, I went out there in February this year, and I paid from my own dollar because Dubai is technically not in my remit. So. Right. And I just did it as a sort of a sideline, my revenue share sort of efforts. And we had 32 people turned up to that one. So we had nearly triple the number of people turned up. and my rev share group in Dubai has gone from 1 to about 18, 19 now in the space of 14 months. And all I've done is two events, and that's all Dave's done. Dave's done 2 events. I've gone and done those 2 with him. He's done a podcast very similar to what you're doing.
Right.
And he's just found that one guy, Michael. I'll probably go out there in just January, February again, I'd imagine, and hopefully we'll get 60 people in a room. And my point really is to try and encourage every time you do an event, if you can add another 50% of people on or double it,
Right.
then you're probably going to double your conversion rate, I'd imagine. So I'd keep chipping away for sure.
Adam, on those events, like if you're going over to Dubai and doing these events, are they real estate focused, or are they actually, like, I know Ian's doing like EXP explained events, which is wise as well. So I'm curious.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so the way that Dave set it up, the first one was very much an EXP explained. The second one was we had another speaker who told us a little bit about real estate in Dubai, the real estate market in Dubai. And then I still did an EXP explained. But everyone that was invited were all experienced agents. Some of them, Dubai's different world altogether, because you get UK people moving to Dubai to do real estate. They've had loads of experience in the UK. So you have to have that international approach to it, really, where people don't know the Dubai real estate market. They know their real estate market in Russia or Dubai or Slovenia or wherever it is, and then they come to Dubai in their country, and they come to Dubai, and so you kind of have to make a bit of an exception where they won't have necessarily known, but they all had experience. In fact, all of them had experience in Dubai, I think, if I remember rightly. And I'd say in that since February, we've probably had another, say, 11 or 12 join, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start the revenue share journey, the cascading element of it, which Jason will know, is it's go wide then go deep. And as soon as you find your first level of, and now Dave's got 10, 11 on his level 1, Michael's got 8 or 9 on his level 1, that's really set up to now sort of grow quickly, I think. And Dave's the biggest downline in Dubai now.
Awesome.
Because of and so it's just obviously great for me. It's exciting. I think, and again, I'm going off on a tangent. I know we're being recorded, so I've got to be careful what I say here slightly, but I think we're fixing things as we go in Europe and the wider area. And I think, Ian, you kind of alluded to that, and I asked you that in Barcelona, how's it going? And Jose Antonio's had a really positive impact. And I think the general culture of EXP at an international level has changed in the last 12 months since I started in my role. And we've had to change a lot of things. It's been a heavy lift, but we've got some good foundations now to really, press the growth button, I think.
That change has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was the refocus of Glenn, and as Felix came, and I know, Adam, you've been doing so much for many years, not only in the UK but around the world. But I've seen it. Because we went kind of dormant for a minute with our international expansion. And then all of a sudden now we're ripping the cover off the ball, and we've got, Turkey and Egypt, Japan coming up, all these amazing countries. And it's exciting again. And that's where I get into it, because I'm like, oh, it's so fun. And because I remember back, what was that, 6 years ago, Adam and I, we did a lot of chatting about UK agents. And kudos to Adam. Your vision has paid off tremendously. And that's where I admire you even more than I did, because you used to tell me, hey, this is what works in our area. You knew it. You're plugging away. And look at you today. You've grown not only the company, but yourself. And now you're able to grow to Dubai and other areas. I love it. And I'm proud of you, Adam.
Yeah. Thank you. We should be saving this for the podcast, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already started. Don't worry. We'll just roll with it.
We'll edit everything, so it'll be all good.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's been a fun ride.
That's how we do this, by the way. It's just kind of free flowing, easy going. So it's literally already started. It's fine. We'll just keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
I think, and by the way, it's a couple of things. First of all, I think also in the last year or so, I think everyone's noticed and felt the change for EXP International, whether it's like Jason said with Glenn shifting his focus, because I don't know if it was after the first EXP International, the first International EXP Con in Portugal that Glenn thought, oh, there's like something massive here which we need to tap into, and that's when it changed. Or I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was before that maybe. And then obviously with you taking on the role that you have and other roles being changed also, like Felix, I think agents have massively noticed the difference, for better with all of it. And also another thing I wanted to mention was everybody refers to the UK success for, like, that's where people want to go with EXP International. I feel it's like the UK was the first one, was like the guinea pig. Everything kind of gets tested in the UK first before it goes anywhere else, because you're so successful with it, and you've got so many icon agents and so many capping agents. When things are so different in the UK, like here we can charge 5% commissions where you won't see that in the UK, yet you have so many more capping agents and so much more success. You're kind of like the reference of where people want to get to, I feel anyway, talking about different country leaders within EXP International.
Yeah, I think so. I think that I mean, culture in the UK is very different in terms of, we're brought up to sell as many houses as possible every month in our real estate offices. So
Yeah.
And the other thing is as well, we have the benefit of not having to worry about contracts. We don't have to worry about promissory contracts. We don't have to worry about, buyer contracts, seller contracts. Like, it's, as soon as we agree a sale, it's off to the lawyer and we get on with the next listing.
Yeah.
So our fees, our commission, sometimes I look at it and think, we moan a lot in the UK and say, oh, well, they charge 5% in Spain, 6% in the US. Why can't we do that? And we'll say, well, actually, in the grand scheme of things, we don't do everything that other agents do around the world. We do a fraction of the job, maybe half the job. We list it, yes, we find the buyer, yes, we negotiate the sale, but we don't do any of the surveying or the listing contracts or the promissory contracts or anything like that. And I don't know all the language and the lingo, but we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. We just give it to the lawyer and let them deal with it. So there is an element of that, and because we're brought up in the culture of we need to sell as many as possible, we do have a lot of icon agents, we do have a lot of cappers, and the UK has been wildly successful. Beyond my wildest dreams, never thought that. We just passed 800 agents, literally. We did the press release today.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're the largest real estate brokerage brand in the UK now. We're bigger than Connells, not bigger than Connells Group, as I'm told I should be reminding people, but we're bigger than Connells, the brand, William H. Brown, the brand, Purple Bricks, the brand, in terms of listings and transactions. So yeah, and again, I'll take it. I like to take 5% of the credit, but COVID helped us massively. We a lot of businesses, they are successful based on timing, and so I was in the right place at the right time, and COVID happened, and it helped people to understand they could work from home. We had a lot of not redundancy, what was that thing called where everyone was still working but wasn't working? Furloughed. Everyone was furloughed in the UK, so they were kind of working from home and they were being paid, but they weren't working because they weren't allowed, because they were furloughed, and they were bored. So it's kind of like, well, let's look at this EXP thing. This Adam Day guy's making a bit of noise. Let's go and talk to him. So, so I don't know. There's a bit of time in there. If I'd have done it 5 years earlier, would it have been as successful? Probably not. Would it have been as successful 5 years later? Yes, but probably. But I'd be behind Spain and other countries right now because I'd have launched afterwards. So timing was perfect, and we got a little bit lucky there. And in terms of the European thing, Glenn and Leo and the whole team have always seen a big opportunity in international. Every time I've met Glenn, and he's always been inquisitive about the UK, and obviously, hasn't really asked me about other countries because I was always only ever looking after the UK. I think when the management team changed, it was just after July. It was just after Portugal, wasn't it? EXP Lisbon, I think it was just after then, if I remember rightly. And so it was a good time. I don't think Glenn that change wasn't made by corporate. That change was made by the people that decided to leave themselves. And then so Glenn, it was a naturally good time for Glenn to step in because he had just been to Portugal, and so Glenn kind of, Felix was in the business at that point anyway, and Felix is great, right? I mean, his years, what's the word? Yeah, you can't believe his years. He's a young man, but he's way beyond his years. Like if I was that good when I was 28, 29, Jesus, I'd be Elon Musk right now. You know what I mean? Honestly, he's extraordinary for the age he is, and he hates his age being referenced, and it shouldn't be, because he's good, not because of his age, whether he's young or old or in between. But Felix contacted me and said, "Would you be interested in doing Europe?" And I kind of said, "I'm not really sure. I think I've got a pretty good gig in the UK. I think the European way of doing things is kind of different. There seems to be a culture of allowing anyone to join. I don't really believe in that, but if that's how it works in Europe, then who am I to say?" And Felix kind of said, "Well, actually, they're probably the things we need to change. So we think that the UK should be the blueprint. We understand that countries are different, cultures are different.
Yeah.
Operationally, everywhere's different, but fundamentally, the fundamentals of helping agents to sell more real estate and helping them to succeed remains our fundamental core principle and value. So the best way to do that is by having experienced real estate agents all in the same room, because then you're going to bounce off each other, you're going to collaborate, you're going to work together. And there's very little point in having, with the great respect to Uber drivers and fitness instructors, there's very little point having people with no experience in a room with people that have got loads of experience, because it's just not going to work, especially in the early days of a business. So Felix kind of convinced me on that, and we kind of came up with a bit of a plan, and the plan was, we're going to implement the experience. We're going to stop talking about agent count. Ironically, I just mentioned that the UK's gone past 800, but we're going to stop talking about agent count as a metric. It's not important to us. The important thing is productive agents. How do we help more agents become more productive? We're going to localize all the systems, so we're going to get rid of the CRM, global CRM that had been implemented, which we've literally just finalized today. Literally 1 year on. I'm 1 year into the role today, and so we're 1 year on, and we've literally just ripped out Rep. Not because that system was bad, particularly, just because we felt that one of the reasons for the UK success was localized systems, localized platforms, localized language, culture, learning, everything. So yeah, we've really turned everything upside down, shaking it out, and seeing what pieces still fit. And so yeah, it's been a year, literally today, 1 year today. So yeah, it's
nice. It's your anniversary today, yeah.
Of that role, yeah, looking after Europe and India as it is, yeah. So
that's cool. That's cool. It's my wedding anniversary today as well, so.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Anniversaries all around. It's nice, sweet. From a business perspective, the goal of the person that runs the business is to try and take the complex things and make it simple for the end user. Doesn't matter whether you're like looking at Amazon or Apple or EXP or whatever it is, or just the agent that's selling a house. It's the same thing. We try and make it stress-free for the clients and whatever else. And I feel like from the agents on the ground like us, I still struggle to believe how easy it is to make things work internationally within EXP from an agent perspective. I know it's not that simple probably for you, but I don't know, we see it more and more. I think within this last year that we've been talking about, where there's been a lot of changes, we are seeing more and more business done internationally through referrals, through the new referral platform, and
now co-sponsoring.
Co-sponsoring is huge also. And I wanted to ask, so going back literally to the beginning, you spoke about your agent that moved to Dubai. Did you say that was when EXP Dubai opened?
He went there shortly after. He'd lived there 20 years ago, and then obviously he moved back to the UK, joined EXP UK in 2019, and then when Dubai opened, he saw an opportunity to move to Dubai at some point, and he hopped over there probably 6, 7, 8 months after we opened in Dubai. Yeah.
So how easy is it for an agent to make that change? Like if I wanted to move to Italy, say, like how can I keep my EXP stuff and make that shift? Is it like a simple thing to do, or?
Yeah, really simple. Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of you technically you leave the country you're in, so technically you hand your notice in at EXP UK or
Right.
EXP Spain, and then you sign up with EXP Italy or EXP Dubai. You have to have, in Italy you have to be licensed, so you have to get your
Yeah.
license. In UK you don't have to be licensed, so you don't. But there are
Yeah.
various regulatory things that you have to fill out.
Yeah.
But then the onboarding team in each of those countries should, as you say, make it very simple to follow the instructions of this is how you get onboarded. I say the experience thing. I've had agents join from South Africa, from the US, from other countries that have never done real estate in the UK, and because they've done real estate in other countries, that's fine with me, because fundamentally real estate and estate agency is about building relationships, understanding people's challenges when selling their biggest asset, or buying a biggest asset, which is, divorce, death, debt, diamonds, diapers, the 5 Ds, as you'd say in America. In the UK, it's only 3 Ds: death, debt, and divorce, because we don't use the word diapers in the UK. So, but I know that in the US it's 5 Ds: the diamonds and diapers as well. So I've learned that over the years. But fundamentally, you have to deal with those 5 things as an agent, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Korea, whether you're in Spain or the UK. I have to say, I mean, we've had agents really struggle in the UK that have come from other countries, really struggle to get to grips with. Yeah, the listing side only. That's been the biggest struggle. It's the listing side only. No buyer instructions. It's just, so therefore agents becomes a dogfight over the listing. If you don't get the listing, you can't sell the house in the UK. Whereas in other countries, if you don't get the listing, you can still sell the house. You can still introduce the buyer. You can technically introduce the buyer, but it's just not very commonplace. Agents don't do it. So yeah. So agents have struggled in the UK. But I say we've had Dave Allen in Dubai is doing really well, and Michael McGee's moved over there, and so. But it's an international marketplace where EXP kind of thrives. But we do need to get better at it. One of the things that you said about making things simple, and I think we tried to simplify it by just saying, how do we help more real estate agents sell more real estate? Like, that's it. That's all our only mission, really. And one of the ways you do it is through that international collaboration. And we have the global referral network, and it works really well. And I think, and I hope I'm not making this up or I dreamt it, I'm sure I saw there's like 5,500 leads, referrals sent in the last 12 months. Is that right?
I saw it recently somewhere. Someone shared it. I think it might have been Jose Antonio from Spain in an explanation or something like that. I can't remember the numbers, but it was pretty mind-blowing, the amount of.
It's like 5,500. I mean, that's like one. If you forget North America, if you look at everything outside of North America, we've got about 5,500 agents. That's like one referral per agent.
Per agent, yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy when you just think of that. It is. So we need to get better at that. We need to get better at, some kind of international website, which we don't. That's in the works. Again, we've had to remove ourselves from the global CRM, and we're now working with like 27, 28 different CRMs, which is a challenge, because then you've got to pull the data in from 27 different places. But we've got that now. So the next stage is, how do we create an international website where, agents can now refer easily, and buyers can, go from Spain to France to Portugal. So there's loads of stuff we can continue to work on. But yeah, as I say, I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's the power of EXP, I guess, is the global reach is how we can really help and try and help more real estate agents sell more real estate.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that ties in with our core values of one of them being agile, that we're able to make these transitions. I see it firsthand in the United States. You guys are seeing them. Adams, you're seeing it now throughout Europe, which is tremendous. We have to continue to be agile. And again, that focus of agent-centric. being the most agent-centric company out there, it goes twofold. It goes around the world, and I dig that.
So for the production side of it, I mean, I can understand, and I've seen it here in people that have joined here in Spain, when they come from another country to here, or they go to the UK or wherever. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if I know of anyone that's had good success from the beginning when they made that move, because they're coming into new markets. There's different ways of how it all works. Like you said, the UK is a bit different as well. So from the production side, it is possible for people to move internationally, like, these agents that have gone to Dubai. So what about revenue share side of it? So if I was to move to Italy, again, I don't know why I'm choosing Italy as my example, but would I have all my, so I'm signing up again in a new country. I've left Spain, joined Italy. What happens to the rev share organization?
Yes, stays. Yeah, you keep your revenue share upline and downline. You keep your same sponsor. So if you go from, so again, Dave Allen joined in 2019. He had no one to be his sponsor because there was no one else in the world other than me. So I don't know if he regrets that or not. He didn't have a choice. I mean, he could have chosen someone in America, obviously, but
we need to get him on here. Let's get him on.
He came on to the event. So yeah, Dave moved to Dubai. I remained his sponsor. The only way you can change that is if you leave for 366 days and come back. Yeah, we've had a few. I'm just trying to think if we've had other examples of that, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But certainly, yeah. I mean, look, you could move to Italy, as you say, and you would have the same sponsor and the same upline and the same downline.
Nice.
Yeah, in a different country.
Nice. That's really cool because I feel like that just gives me total freedom to do whatever I want. Like if I wanted to move to Italy or Canada or Korea, I could. Well, if I have a good rev share organization that already produces enough for me to get by in a little bit more, then I can do that and then focus on production, which will take time because it's a new market, new regulations, new everything. So.
In fact, we've got the example, which I think I mentioned to you when we saw each other in Barcelona, was Chris Abraham. And again, I don't think I'm spilling any beans that I'm not allowed to here because he's put it on LinkedIn. But he's in South Wales. Right. His wife's moved to Mijas, and his son has as well. I think his youngest, and his eldest is at university or whatever it is, and his twins are somewhere else. And then his plan is to. He's got 35 agents in the UK in his revenue share group. He wants to relocate to Spain to be with his wife and youngest, and he's going to rebuild his business there. And he's an icon agent in the UK, so his plan is to be an icon agent in Spain. But he also wants to build his revenue share group, and so he'll hand me his notice in the UK, which we gutted about because I'll lose an agent in the UK, but I'll be super happy for him because. I count that as a massive success for me. I've had a small part to play in him changing his life to now buying a house in Mijas and moving there to spend his retired years over there and in the sunshine. And I don't think he would have ever done that without EXP. And that's why that kind of story I'm super proud about and super excited about because that'll be the first of many, I'm sure, that we see do that.
That's beautiful. Definitely. I love that. And the stories you guys are saying, it's again pro cloud brokerage. You couldn't do this with a franchise model. You couldn't do this with nearly anything else besides a cloud brokerage. And it's putting those, depending on how your life is, if you're going to retirement, and look at that, like to be able to build this and still be able to live a life, have extra income coming in. It's another plus in our hat.
It is, and it's for me anyway, the way that I'm looking at it is it's the rev share thing has changed all of it because like we spoke about, I couldn't change country to go into a new market and expect the same results that I have here in Spain. I've been here for
You'd have to start all over. You'd have to totally do all over. And
I don't know how long it would take me to make that first sale. And that first sale is probably not going to give me enough to recover everything from the move and whatever. So the rev share thing, just honestly, like total freedom. I can go wherever I want right now and start from zero. If EXP is there and I can maintain the organization, do whatever I want, just like Chris is doing in moving out to.
Yeah, 100% agree. From production, he's been an icon 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
So he's now got $64,000 worth of stock, $16,000 a pop, £16,000 a pop. So he's got £64,000 worth of stock, and some of it's tied up because it's 3-year vesting and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But if he needs to drop into that, if he needs to dip into that to cover his life in Spain, or do you know what, move over to Spain and have 6 months off, and he can earn his revenue share, cash in a bit of his stock, and then start, once he's explored Spain and that corner of Spain, he can start again. So yeah, it's not just the revenue share, that it's not just the recruiters that get rewarded, it's the high producers that get rewarded. That's been really crazy about the model, I think, in the UK that I've seen is, a lot of the other, obviously we've had a lot of other competing brokerages that have set up recently, but they all seem to get to 50 or 60 agents. There's one that's got to 120, but they can't seem to grow beyond that, because what happens is the highest producers leave and they set up on their own. They go, I'll just be my own broker owner, brokerage owner, whatever the right terminology is. But at EXP, they don't do that because they get the stock. Those highest producers get the stock, and they get the stock awards. High producers also typically attract agents because they're high producers. And then you have the medium performers, who naturally is the right place for them to be because they don't have any risk, no cost. And then you have the people who get turned on by the rev share and become interested in the rev share, who then don't bother selling real estate and just help and coach other agents to come on board. And they're also, there's no reason for them to leave because they're receiving this residual income. And there's no other, I did a video with a guy called Chris Watkin in the UK a few weeks ago. And the question was, how do you beat EXP? And I said, I don't want to sound arrogant, but it's going to be very difficult. The first thing you need to do is copy us. Copy. No one is. Everyone thinks, it's either it's not possible, or it's a pyramid scheme, or whatever the different jibes are at us, or they've just got lucky. You go, we can't have got lucky in the US and Canada and the UK and France and now Spain. And yes, we might get lucky with the person who's running the show, but we haven't got lucky with the model. The model works anywhere and everywhere. So, it's funny how, people miss the obvious, but they're the obvious things, that stock for production and revenue share for, people helping other people is kind of the magic sauce that obviously Glenn created. So, yeah.
That vision that Glenn had back in the day in 2009, and the idea to have this be sustainable, and so many people didn't see it, or they didn't want to hear it. I don't really know, but it's just that, Adam, to say, look at this, how we built it, with whether it was that 3-year stock vesting period that helped build sustainability so people wouldn't leave, and then that kept building for them. It's just a testament to all of our leadership. And Adam, every time I'm talking to agents, I always brag on our leadership. And I always feel like I do it injustice, because it's to get to know each and every one of you, whether you're in the United States, the UK, Europe, Spain, wherever. Leadership is so phenomenal. And you guys all focus on the agents each and every time. And you want us all to become the best we can. And I just don't, I talk to a lot of leaders out there, and I just don't see that. There's more, and it's kind of in that example of all these other startup brokerages that are coming in. Like you said, just copy EXP, but they say, it's not, it won't work. Well, it is working. Why not just copy it? And they won't do it for some reason. So I don't know if it's the amount of work or if it's their own ego, but it's those pieces that separates our leadership from everyone else's.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's probably ego.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think, and look, I still have an ego, but what I learned from my very first trip to the US in 2019, where I think we probably met Jason, if I'm right here, in Orlando,
Yeah.
was that Glenn Glenn and Jason guessing, they always wanted to put the spotlight on the agents. It was never about them. It was always about the agents. The agents should go on stage. The agents should tell their story. And as much as I love standing on stage and telling my story, and I do get to do it occasionally, and I get lucky in Barcelona, at the same time, you know, my favorite panel session in Barcelona was the revenue share one, with when we focused on Elizabeth Riley and Tom Truong and Veronica Figueroa and Cliff Freeman and their agents, and that the spotlight was on them. I was just hosting. I didn't need to tell my story. We were just getting them to tell their story, and that for me is probably where the difference. When I look at UK real estate, UK estate agency, I think the ego of other brokerage owners probably holds them back from giving the spotlight to the agent, because they want the spotlight. And again, I'm kind of contradicting myself, because people used to say, "Oh, it's the Adam Day show." In the UK, that was like a common thing. "Oh, it's the Adam Day show again." And yes, I was front and center, and yes, I and I'm less so now because I don't need to be. But at conferences, at events, I would always get agents and shine a spotlight on them and ask them how they've done it. No one's going to listen to me. Last time I sold a property was 9 years ago. What do I know about real estate in the UK? Really, in today, right now, I'm not walking the path that people want to walk. That's the agents that are walking that path, and it should be the agents that are then inspiring other agents to take the jump. So, although it was the Adam Day show for a while, and I do admit that, there was still a large piece of me that was trying to spotlight the agents and you know, show what was possible, I suppose, through agents. So, yeah, I think the ego. I think also being very accessible is unusual. I think a lot of business entrepreneurs want to be the front and center of it until a period of time. Whereas Glenn, you look at Glenn, just wanders around EXPCon like just a normal, non-billionaire.
Right.
And he could easily walk in the shadows and go and sit in the green room, but he doesn't. He walks through the 5,000 people and talks to everyone, gives them his time, and that was kind of weird as well to watch that. I'd never seen a business leader of such a big business just doing that. It was, and I think that's quite nice for the agents to be able to, talk to someone who's such a huge business, because that's the thing. I was talking to Leo Pereira, funny enough, earlier today, and he was saying that the tribe that we attract is entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs by their very nature want to continue to grow. Typically, not everyone, but they want to build a life for themselves. They want to build a life for their family. They want to grow their business. They want to learn from other people, and that's exactly what Glenn allows you to do, is by wandering around, and it allows you to feel like you're connected to someone who you're exactly like, which I think is really important.
It is. It's cool. And I think after time, I think we've seen this happen. The leadership that's in the role that's not focusing 100% on the agents getting better eventually just get filtered out in EXP. That's what I feel as an agent, because in Spain, I've been with them since they started, and I've seen so many, just seeing how it's developed internally in Spain and then like internationally as well, like getting rid of rep and everything else. It's been so good seeing how agent focused it really is. You can present it and you can talk about it being the most agent-centric business and model in the world, blah blah blah, and all the rest of it. But until you've actually started and you live it and you see it in real time, and then you can be walking through these events and bump shoulders with Glenn or Felix or Leo, just like they're one of us.
Adam Day.
Or Adam Day, like they'll have a cup of tea with Adam Day or whatever. With just like they're just there with us, like another guest.
Yeah.
They're not, but they're there like that. It's
and that's the uniqueness of we've all been agents. Felix was an agent, I was an agent, Leo's an agent, Glenn was an agent, and we've seen countless examples in the UK where Purple Bricks was run by agents, and
Right.
run very successfully by agents. And then those agents left, and it went to a corporate bod who'd never done agency, and then started floundering and flailing because I just think real estate, estate agency, whatever you want to call it, is a unique industry where you need people who have been at the ground level, walking the walk, to know what it's like for those people who are walking the walk if they get to the top and they become leadership or whatever. And I never planned to get to any kind of level. I'm always happy selling houses. That's what I was always happy doing. But I remember intimately how difficult that was and how stressful it can be and how much time and pressure you're under, and the market forces and the ups and the downs of interest rates and all of the stuff that goes with it. Whereas I think most other industries just see it as a commodity kind of business where it's just not. It's a human business. So I think it's really important that Leo and Glenn see themselves as agents, probably first and foremost, which is why they turn up to those events and why they wander around. And yes, they go early. They leave at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they've got a corporate responsibility and all the rest of it. But I think they do see themselves as agents first and foremost.
Yeah, and it rubs off on the agents, the normal people like us. We can see that, and that makes a huge difference, massive difference. Like I don't know, maybe it's because I've not had the experience within other models or other franchises or businesses or whatever, but I just don't see how anyone can do it like EXP does. Yeah, like we said, they have the opportunity to copy us if they want to, but maybe ego gets in the way and they just don't do it. I've had multiple agents that I've explained the model to. Some joined, some didn't, tell me that it's too good to be true. I'm sure you guys have as well. Yeah,
same. I mean, we have 4 objections in the UK to not joining. One is I don't have enough money because they're leaving an employed role to be self-employed. So that's slightly different here than most other places. So 1, no money. 2 is what if I fail? That's the second objection. 3 is something else, and 4 was always too good to be true.
Yep.
That was always a thing. The most common thing people say to me now, we don't get it's too good to be true. The most common thing people say to me now, who said that previously, is I wish I'd done it sooner. That is the most common thing. If you come to one of my events and you listen to every conversation I have, probably I would say over 50% of people will say, oh man, I wish I'd done it sooner. It is the most common thing I hear.
And I still hear that too, but look at again, and I'm going to lean back on our leadership because of the vision that Adam, you and Leo and Glenn and everybody, Wendy, everybody brings to us. Look at the trajectory. We're at nearly 90,000 agents. We continue to grow internationally. We're looking to get to 100,000 agents, to 250,000 agents, to 500,000 agents, to 1 million agents. What other brokerage is talking about getting to 1 million agents? I don't think anybody is talking like our leadership team here. So again, that's where I give kudos, because if you thought, hey, I missed the boat, I should have joined 5 years ago. No, join now and look at 5 years. It's kind of like the old saying we say here in real estate. I don't know if you guys hear it. Don't wait for real estate. Buy real estate, then wait. You're going to make your money. If you're going to wait, if you're going to sit here and wait for it, and hopefully it changes, and I don't know if I should buy or sell now. Well, just buy, wait, you're going to grow. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, it's the same thing with EXP. Come over, let's go. When you build a business and you blossom and flourish, and like you said, the other gentleman, $64,000 in stock, he's cool to retire, relax, enjoy life.
I think it was Gene Frederick, maybe in like one of his napkin presentations or something like that. He thought he was too late when he joined, when like EXP stock was at like $2 or $3 or something like that. It's like you said, Jason, it's technically never too late to join. I mean, EXP is just, at this moment, I think, with the year internationally that we've had, it's just getting started. It really is like it's
It
all
is.
up from here. It's all up from here. There's so much more to go, I think, and that's what that's the vibes I got anyway from EXPCon, hearing the leadership talk about moving forward and what's happening and their, their vision for the future. It's definitely not too late right now. I was happy I could join sooner because I was one of the first agents in EXP Spain, but I'd still be happy joining now at this date because I know where things are. I don't know where things are going, but I know that it's got so much more room for growth that it's never going to be too late. Not for a while, anyway.
No, couldn't agree more. I say to people, we're still in the garage stage at the moment. You know, all these famous entrepreneurs, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates or whoever it was, whoever the other people were in garages when they started their business. That's what we're still in the garage. International, certainly outside of North America.
Yeah.
So if you want to be in the garage, if you wish you'd been in those garages when you were, then this is the garage to be in.
This is it.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is it. Was it? I think if I remember right, it was by 2030 EXP wanted to be in 50 countries. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know if you're
50 countries by 2030 is the plan. So we got 5 years, four and a bit years, whenever it is. I mean, we'll have some announcements in October at EXPCon Miami. Not to say how many or where, but there will be some announcements. It's following a theme recently that I think will continue, and I don't know. This is above my pay grade. This is a kind of a Felix kind of decision, but the theme seems to be, when we do an event, let's announce some countries that we're going to go into. So that's kind of, we've got EXPCon Miami, we've got EXPCon South Africa in February. We've got, I think I'm allowed to say, I think this has been released, we've got Paris.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows, but yeah.
And then we've got EXPCon next year, which will be, again, I know where it is, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that one. It's not in Miami, but do you know where it is, Jason?
I heard it was Utah. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I heard through something. I don't know. So.
Okay, well, you said that, not me, so that's fine. That's
exactly.
So that'll be October 2026. So, there's 3 big EXP events where no doubt there'll be more announcements coming, and I can't guarantee it will always be new countries, but that seems to be the theme of the last year or so, and so I know in October we'll be announcing a few. So so yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that, and then I'm going to be in EXPCon Cape Town. I'm going to be going down to that one. I can't wait for that. I've never been to South Africa before, but I know the Africans will give us a very warm welcome, and there'll be lots of dancing and drums, and that should be awesome. So yeah, and Cape Town's beautiful apparently, so I can't wait to go to that. And obviously Paris is in my patch, so I'll definitely be in Paris, and so yeah, looking forward to all those, and who knows what the announcements will be, we'll see, but it's all exciting stuff. So
is there like, and just before we finish up, with all of this growth, opening different countries all over, would it mean that there needs to be several EXPCon Internationals to make it more accessible to different countries in like Asia and Europe and then like the US? Does it need to be done like that, or would it just work having one EXP International, EXPCon International?
Yeah. So again, we've myself and Felix have kind of talked about this. So I look after Europe and India. You got Virginia who looks after Cala. We don't have any other regional directors or operators, whatever you want to call us. So as we grow into other jurisdictions, then I'm pretty sure Felix will look at other regional heads of APAC and maybe the Middle East and the Far East. I don't know how it'll be split up. And I think the big vision really is 50 countries by 2030. That will be a quarter of all countries on planet Earth. So when you start thinking about the geography and the spread of those countries, and there'll be one main EXPCon in America, which will be, obviously that's the motherland of EXP, as it were, and then we'll have regional EXPCons. So We'll have an
Right.
African EXP con, we'll have a European one, we'll have a Middle Eastern one, maybe we might have an APAC one. So that's kind of the thinking. We don't know that's for sure yet. It depends how everything goes, but that's kind of the big grand vision is that and then that will be down to my team to probably arrange EXPCon in Europe, I would imagine. The US team have got enough on their plates. Wendy's got she's got a lot on her plate with EXPCon Miami, and then she's organising the Paris one. She's organised Cape Town. She's organising. So eventually, I would imagine that will become localized in terms of I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I would imagine multiple EXP international events that are official sort of EXP events. Then you've also got the dozens, hundreds of local events that agents do, like you do, and Dave in Dubai, and various others, and then you've probably got the country events. So obviously the UK has its yearly conference. We have our yearly Christmas party, which is this year. We've got a very famous comedian who's hosting with me. When does this go out on the wires?
Usually about a week and a half, 2 weeks out.
Okay, so by the time it's out, we'll have announced it. So it's Jimmy Carr is at our Christmas party. Yeah, on the 4th of December. So we've hired him to do a small 10-15 minute set, and then he'll give out awards and obviously be funny in between and very, very rude, because that's what he does. But yeah, he's the most famous comedian in the UK, in my opinion. So to get him an event at the Dorchester Hotel on the 4th of December I'm kind of excited by that, because I'm going to be hosting with him. So I hope I don't have my man flu at that point, and he will destroy me, I'm sure, because I'm sure he'll have lots of jokes about real estate agents. So
I can't believe Jimmy. That's so. I might go there for that one. Oh man, I need to choose between the UK and South Africa. I can't do both, but Jimmy Carr might be the one that puts it in. Oh no way! That's so cool. That's so cool. I think that'll wrap it up for us. Jason, I don't know if you've got any last questions, any last words to finish up here.
Adam, you're always awesome, and I always appreciate from the help from day one till today and beyond. I know you're always there for us, so thank you for making time today. Last year, this time, Ian and I had the privilege of having Leo Pareja on here. And it was a great podcast as well. We had some fun asking questions. But the cool thing is, tomorrow is Ian's birthday. And last year, we got to have Leo sing happy birthday to Ian. So I was going to ask you, Adam, even with your man flu, would you be open to singing Ian happy birthday with me?
Oh God, I don't even sing happy birthday to my daughter, but go on then.
We can time him in.
Yeah.
I hate getting songs as well, so this is uncomfortable for everyone.
I love it. Not me. I know.
You counting us in then, are you, Jason?
What's that?
You counting us in? Oh, I'm not singing on my own. You're singing with me, right?
Yeah, I'm there. I'll sing. I'm a horrible singer, but I'm in. You ready?
Yeah.
I didn't bring my harmonica. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ian.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Many more, buddy. Many more good ones, Ian.
I can't believe you did that. Yeah, we'll try to not do it on my birthday next year.
Impossible. I've got it set in my head now. 2 years in a row. Let's go.
Anyone in the leadership team that's really good at singing, Adam, we'll get them on for next year.
No, not aware. I'll ask around.
Sweet. Thank you.
Hey, Adam, thanks for being put on the spot and working with us with that. That was fun. But seriously, man, you're awesome. Keep up all the good work. If there's anything that Ian or myself can do for you, Adam, please let us know. We love the collaboration and we love helping other people too. So our hearts are right there with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Likewise, man. Keep up the good work. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya.
You already know who he is, I'm just saying. Just ask Justak. Just ask Justak. You should just ask Justak. Just should just ask, just ask.